Well, hello. Q&A number 101. Can you believe we made it to 100? And that's pretty exciting. Thanks you guys for asking questions. It's always fun to answer them. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Darlene Stokely, where could I get your recipe book that you showed on when we were babysitting at Rochelle's house? That's a Bueller cookbook, and I'll have to contact my cousin Charlotte and see where that cookbook is, because we'll have to see if I find it, then I will post it below. So, because it's just a really good cookbook. It's got all our old, had a picture of my grandma on there on the front with her cooking with her old coal burning stove and stuff. Okay, Rhonda Braden, how many kids do all your siblings have? And I really like when you have your brothers and sisters in your vlogs. Yeah, it's a lot of fun when we do get together. We usually plan some kind of bowling party or some kind of gathering. Okay, the siblings, between all of us, there's 89 kids. Can you believe that?
89 what?
She wants to know how many kids my siblings have.
Oh, your siblings.
89.
Does that include us?
Yep.
Okay.
We're in there. So 89 if I counted right.
I thought it meant our children, but I mean...
No, my siblings, yeah. And their kids, there's 211. So...
We quit counting after one generation dies.
After they die. Well, they're actually still alive.
Otherwise you can say Adam has 5 trillion now.
Yeah. Well, you can only count back so far, but that's a good question. Okay, Bonnie Barber, how is your brother doing since his last heart attack? Good question. I got a call from him a couple of weeks ago, and he said he had another mini heart attack, and he's just calling everybody and telling them hi and stuff. I think it just kind of scares him, but he's planning a trip to Alaska to go up and look at the northern lights, him and his wife, and so he's still planning his life and doing things. So
that's the way it should be, I think.
Yeah, and he had a pacemaker put in, so I think the pacemaker helped keep his heart going after the other little mini heart attack, because when he had him before the pacemaker, they rushed him to the hospital as fast as they could go. He said he's riding the back of the ambulance, just bouncing all over the place. I guess when you're laying in an ambulance, there's no seatbelts for the one laying on that stretcher. He says he was afraid he was gonna roll off there. But thanks, that's really nice of you to ask. Okay, do you want to ask?
Lukewarm, your hair looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Love all your vlogs, but I sure do look forward to Thursday and Friday vlogs.
Oh, really?
Will you ever do a vlog about a day in the life?
I've thought of that. That would be fun.
Like morning till bedtime. Well, it's so different every day, though. Yeah,
it's different every day, but in general, it's the same. Because, you got to get up. I get up and I feed the animal, get ready. Well, I don't get ready. I put on my running outfit and then do all the animal chores. Papa O'Heather's teaching, or, around the house puttering somewhere. And puttering. You're puttering.
Complicated stuff is called
You're a putter. A putter.
Oh, in golf they putt.
They putt, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll just check on the animals and the critters and do my exercise and make sure my vlog is up for the day. And then once I get my exercising done, then I do my hair and makeup.
Oh, you forgot the 1 hour talking to Judy.
Oh, I try and talk to her at least maybe a couple times a month.
Oh.
Do you think I do that every day?
Yeah.
It's funny because it used to cost, long distance phone calls used to cost, and me and my sister Judy ran the phone bill up to $100 or something, and I said, Judy, I'll split the bill with you. Now we can talk for free or just text, and so we don't get in trouble now for it, where before we just think, oh no, look how long we've talked. But I'll do that. I'll do a day in the life. That would be a good one. I'll have to find a day, do a day when I'm not babysitting or something, and where it's more of a normal day for me.
Part of my day in my life would be taking a nap, and I'm wondering if they'd want the camera on while I'm sleeping.
I think that'd be a bit boring. I think it'd put them
To sleep.
into the snore mode. Do they have a snore emoji? Okay, Lisa Vincent, at what age did your parents pass away? Good question. My dad was 85 and my mom was 84, and they died in 2012. We always thought my mom would go first because she was put on hospice 3 times and she survived. She was going in and getting blood transfusions, and the hospice says, if you go in and get her another blood transfusion, then we have to take her off hospice. And he goes, well, what's wrong with that? And he goes, Ruby, you want to die? And she goes, no. And he goes, she doesn't want to die, so we're going to go get a blood transfusion. And they go, well, you need to save the blood transfusions for people that are going to stay alive. And this was probably 3 years before she actually died. And Dad said she doesn't want to die. I can go in and get her a blood transfusion if I want. And it's just funny. She just kept coming out of the brink of death so many times. And so we thought she would go first, and Dad did. And then Dad did. He had started having mini strokes. August 25th is when he died, 2012. And then after Dad was gone, Mom says, hey, what am I hanging around here for? Mm-hmm. Christmas Day, she told the nurses that she wanted to go Christmas. She went at noon on Christmas Day, December 25th, at age 84. So that's a good question. All right, why don't you do that one?
Okay, Tracy Warfel. I love Mama O, but I'm curious. Where we live, if the kids get homemade treats, unless they come from a family member or a good friend, they have to toss it out. Yeah. I hate doing it because someone possibly put
She's
hard
talking
work
about Halloween treats
and time into it. However, with the chances of not knowing what went into, we toss.
The homemade, yeah.
Yeah. Mama O has wonderful intentions, but don't people toss them as well? Or is she well known and they keep it?
Been here 43 years and just well known enough.
In other words, we've been doing fresh donuts every year.
For 43 years.
And nobody's ever said, oh, we can't eat. Actually, they say, oh.
And there may be some that get tossed, I don't know. But I package them in little Ziploc bags, and the donuts they eat right there, right then. And the parents are with them, and they all know me. And if they don't know me, then I have candy, and they'll look at me like, you know, Mom told me not to do
No, actually...
Take the homemade treats.
Actually, almost all of ours are repeat ones from years before because they want the donuts.
Yeah, they come back for the donuts.
And so every one of them, people go first on their own street, then they go on the next street, and then they go to the apartments, and then it's time to go home. Oh, no, we do trunk or treat.
Yeah, we do the trunk. I don't do donuts for that, though, but that's a really good question because I've often wondered how long, once that came out, what, about 20 years ago that came out?
Yeah.
Where they told you not to do the homemade treats anymore, but I just kept doing them. And I thought, well, if they don't want one, don't take it. Because I didn't want to disappoint the kids that did know me and did want the treat. But yet the new kids that didn't know me, I didn't want to scare them. So I always have candy on hand for them. And they can just take that candy. So that's just how I balanced it out.
That's been a lot of years since...
It's been a lot of years since that scare.
Yeah, since that scare.
So I just make the treats and just do it that way, and we'll see if I'm still able to keep doing that. But that's a really good question, and maybe because I'm from a smaller town and I've been doing it for so long. I think if I were to move and start up somewhere new, it wouldn't fly at all. It wouldn't happen.
People would be more worried.
Yeah, people would worry. But I think since I've been doing it and we've just been here for so many years and everybody knows me, that it's just
and we know almost
keeps
every
going.
House within blocks and blocks of our house.
That got me there. Okay, why don't you read that one?
I just did this one.
I know. Do you want me to do this?
No,
Are we switching off?
Casey Carmichael. I'm curious if you have a DIY on making a sweater bigger like you did with the shirts on the sides. I'm sure it's the same method, but I wanted to ask. I have this really cute mermaid sweater that's just not flattering on the bottom part.
Good question. And yes, the only problem with the sweater is it'll run. So make sure you do the straight stitch and the zigzag, and try not to pull it. Don't let all those stitches get loose from you, away from you. So, but you could just do a straight stitch where you're going to do the cut, and hold it, then go ahead and cut it. But yeah, do a sweater. I bet that would look really cute, a mermaid sweater. Yeah, and that would look darling. So go ahead and do it, but just make sure you catch those stitches. We didn't say the name?
No, at the bottom.
Oh, Rebecca Winfrey. Thanks, hon. All right, Rebecca. Did your children play any sports in school? I love when you say, let's see what today brings, and when you rhyme. Thanks. I always say, let's see what today brings. Sometimes
I often wondered what they thought about that.
I know. And sometimes Joe says it, and I say, you can't say it. That's my line. And Joe said, well, I already said it. And then I'm always rhyming something, so that's I'm glad you noticed that. Oh yeah, our kids played sports. I'm a real strong believer in sports. It really builds a lot of character. And
I started them in running.
Running was
in my
our
40s,
first.
and then running stayed with them. I paid them to run when they were in elementary.
A quarter.
But anyway, today two of our kids have done Boston marathons. That's one of the prestigious ones. You have to have like 3.5 hours.
You have to qualify for
that one.
Julianne's done it twice.
Yeah.
And Davey's done it twice.
And the other one, and quite a few marathons between the spouses and the husbands.
Yeah, Johnny was known as the running man in high school, and they played.
Johnny, the oldest one, did a 4:35
mile.
In high school, his best time. So
4:30. That means he did 1 mile in 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Yeah, and I don't know if anybody's beat his record yet. It's been 20 years since he's been out of high school. Has it been that long? Wow. Anyway, but they played basketball. None of them were ever interested in football. Cheerleading, volleyball. Basketball. What else? I think that's it.
Yeah.
But they were really good at sports. Two of the girls got scholarships, one in basketball and one in volleyball.
To pay for their college.
Yeah, they got to actually pay for their college, so that was nice. Oh, and then Rebecca has the same. Another question, is the man who plays guitar when you sing related to you as well? When me and my sister go singing, that's her husband. Yeah, her husband Steve. So that's a good question. I always kind of forget about him. He's always behind me. The joke I use when we're out singing, I say, well, we have a backup band. We asked Steve to come be our backup band, and I tell him, could you back up a little bit more? Why don't we do one more, or are we doing okay? Let's see. Yeah, I got that one.
Oh.
I'm
here to dance.
I'm here to dance. I noticed you never show Amanda's kids' faces. I guess she doesn't allow it. Yeah, and another lady says, yeah, I noticed that too. She gets really upset with me if I show her kids' faces. And she's almost about ready to not let me even show anything of them. But I remember when Davey first got me onto YouTube, he says, respect other people's wishes. If they don't want to be on YouTube, then just don't. And she just really does not want her kids on YouTube. So it's really hard. I have to make sure not show their faces.
She lets them be on Facebook, not YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, but good question. I was wondering if anybody noticed that. I'm sure you did, but they're so cute. They've got to be the cutest kids this side of heaven.
I know, because they're your grandkids.
That's true. Okay, lukewarm. Do you get straw so the bunny and chickens could be warm? And I would like to come meet you, Mama. Oh, do you think that you would ever do that? Okay, so the rabbits and bunnies, I don't use straw, I use grass. In the summer when I cut the grass, I use the grass clippings in there. And then they can use that. And then in the winter I use, what are those called? Sawdust chips?
Yeah.
Sawdust.
But you also have a big heating lamp for the...
I have a heating lamp for the chickens.
That way we get eggs during the winter.
If we get eggs all year round because I use the heating lamp. And then I just use the sawdust. But that's a good question. And then I would love to meet you. In CVX Live is this year, September 21st and 22nd. And that's a really good place to meet vloggers. Otherwise, I don't know how else to arrange any kind of meeting. But that's going to be in Provo. And I'll put a link below about Provo. Hey, that rhymes. And how we could actually meet, because it's fun. I'm not as well known as Davey and Jimmy Joe, but I go and help Davey with the kids and stuff at CVX Live. So Davey has me there. And last year, a couple of people, I actually signed autographs for about 2 or 3 people that knew me. So I guess people are kind of starting to know who I am because of Davey and April. Are you giving the signal that it's time?
Keep time to the music.
I think you're giving the signal.
Keep time to the music. Wait a minute.
Do you want to do one more?
Did we say our tires were bad or something?
I don't know, just checking. Did you replace your tire? I think this was during the snowstorm. This was Diane Sullivan. She wanted to see if
Let me tell you how that works.
Check the tires.
Years ago,
that was scary.
They used to have metal studs in tires to drive in the snow, but that meant you had to have 2 sets of snow tires. One deep into the winter, and one as you're coming out of the winter, and that was a big expense and a lot of bother. And now they don't require you to have studs.
I have a stud.
Even if a car has good tires, if you're on black ice, you will slide on good tires or bad tires.
So what's the answer to that question?
Don't go out driving when the storm's on.
Yeah, we used to have...
No, every time there's a storm, there's immediately people that slide off the road. And it doesn't mean they have bad tires. It means they hit a patch of ice.
I've done a spin before.
Good tires will slide on ice.
But we'll have to check our tires and make sure that they're not bald or anything.
No, none of them are bald.
Okay.
They got good tread. They got at least a 1/4 inch deep in the threads.
That's good.
But that doesn't help on black ice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but we'll check them to make sure. We'll go ahead and close with a couple of quotes. Let's see. As our time, boy, time goes so fast when we do these Q&As. Okay, I got push pause while I look for a quote. Okay, since we got Valentine's Day coming up, I'm going to do this one here. Let's see if I can do this. It said, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life." John 3:16. And then if you see down here, you can see the red. It says Valentine right there. That's pretty cool, huh?
How did you do that?
I know, pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I thought we'd just just throw it on the floor.
No, I didn't throw it.
Oh, I dropped it on the floor. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm sure glad you like these Q&As, because we sure have a lot of fun, and keep the questions coming and ring that bell. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
What's the matter, boy? Looks like your heart's broken too.